No nos habíamos separado desde el día en que nacimos. Nunca te darías cuenta, pero soy 3 minutos mayor que él. Yo siempre podía leer su mente, acabar su frase. Yo pensaba que él no podría vivir sin mí. Comencé a notar cambios pequeños cuando comenzó a trabajar en la cocina del hotel 3 meses atrás. Una muchacha en mi aula baila en el cabaret en las tardes. Ella dice que antes de ver a un turista lo puedes oler. Que ellos usan un tipo de jabón que aquí no hay.
Este viento tan fuerte que me une a ti. Quiero que me quite la vida, ya no logro sentir. Ay.
Al principio pensé que Helio solo quería un poco de independencia de mí. Se había vuelto distante, con más secretos. Nunca pensé que nada nos separaría hasta que apareció Raúl.
Okay, so this is your debut feature, and so for that you decided to tell the story of some young Cubans who are making their escape to Miami, and you decided to shoot it in Havana on location and also on the water. So you're here, you're still sentient, so that's good. I take it you survived the experience.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. Shooting on the water was hard, but we did it.
Yeah, that sort of surprised me because, I mean, that's general filmmaking lore is whatever you, the desert, the rainforest, don't do water.
Yeah, that's what I was told before, but I guess I like a challenge or something, I don't know.
Well, tell me about shooting then in Havana, because that had to be a challenge as well. But you've had experience there, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I spent some time in Havana before we made the movie. And it was a challenge, but it was also an incredible experience, and so much support, so much help from people in Havana that it wasn't probably a conventional shoot, but it worked out and everything.
Is it really like I see it in the film? I mean, it looks like there's nothing new there.
It kind of does feel like a time warp a bit when you're there, but then again, the young people, there is like an incredible energy, and there is a lot of creativity, and there's like a kind of bursting energy within the youth in Havana, and.
I know.
So it's like, yeah, you get the old cars and the old buildings and all of the kind of things that everyone associates with Havana. And people are really amazing at recycling things because you don't get new parts to things, so you have to know how to fix everything there. But people are also really creative with that, and there is definitely a lot of movement in younger people to be, a hunger for creativity and a hunger for experimentation and for expressing themselves. And,
How does that translate, particularly with the three characters you're focusing on? How does that translate to their desire to escape to Miami? Excuse me.
Well, I think with the three characters, they all have a very different motivation for wanting to go, and different experiences in Havana. Each one of them has a different lifestyle, and different things influencing them. Like Raúl, the main character, his mother's very ill, and that plays a large part in his frustration in life, and the fact that he can't help her and make her better. And she's very frail, and she's getting older, and these are all things that affect him. And the way that it becomes manifest in him is through a kind of aggression towards the world, and he doesn't have the ability to, or he doesn't at this point in his life have the ability to make strong, meaningful relationships. He doesn't choose to. He chooses to live on a kind of superficial level. And I think that there's aspects of his character to do with his circumstance, to do with his family situation that make him want to get out of that situation. And then with Elio, he has very strong feelings towards Raul. He's his best friend. He feels a responsibility towards him. He wants to do anything he can to help him. And Raul has to get out on this particular day because he's accused of doing something that he didn't actually really do, he wasn't responsible for. And so the police kind of come after him and he's kind of hunted down. And that is what motivates him to have to leave. And with Lila, the female character, that's Elio's sister. She adores her brother and wants to do anything for her brother and doesn't really want to live without him, so she'll go out there, and she wants to kind of follow him and help him as much as she can. So that's where her motivation comes from. So it's not necessarily to do with their kind of creativity or like a movement in youth culture in Havana or something like that. They all have their own individual feelings and emotions and reasons for wanting to get out, which is unique to each of them.
One of the real mind blowers for me, or it's a mild mind blower at the very least, was the rather lackadaisical attitude that everybody seems to have to what these kids are planning. It's like you're the odd person out if you haven't thought at some point of escaping. Is that a general attitude?
No. I don't think so, but I think everyone's very familiar with it because a lot of people do try, a lot of people have tried. I mean, when we were making the movie, I met people who were in the process of making their own rafts. It is a phenomenon, it's something that is going on today and that is happening. It's not something that everybody's tried and is doing, but it's something that everyone's aware of, so it's not like a surprise.
How many people did you talk to about this, and was there anything you found out about it that sort of surprised you? About escaping or making a crossing?
The idea in itself, from risking your life going across 90 miles on a boat that you kind of hash together out of what you can find and what resources that are really limited. Out of tires, and this the boat that they use in the movie is like kind of, unless you've got money and you're going to pay for like a speedboat, that's what people use, a tire and some wood and it's kind of pretty insane, and it's almost like a suicidal mission, like to go, like the chances of actual survival of arriving are very slim. So I found that kind of compelling, the fact that people are really doing this and making that choice consciously and taking that risk on, and that it was to a large extent something that it's not just one person, it's like multiple people have taken that risk, and I met people who tried multiple times to leave that way, and that was interesting to me because there has got to be a strong motivation behind that and to take that kind of leap into the ocean, trying to make those 90 miles that are notorious for being really dangerous, and so that was kind of what what brought me into wanting to tell that story.
And let me just ask you one more question, because I understand you were also closely involved with the music for the film. You wrote the lyrics for all of the songs?
Not all of the songs, but I collaborated definitely with people. The first song, we needed it really fast, and I didn't have it, I had spoken to a couple of people about writing the song because we were about to shoot the song in the cabaret scene, and we did what people brought. I didn't really like it that much. I had quite a specific idea, and so I had the lyrics kind of just in my mind and the melody, and so I just brought it together with musicians, and Anais Bruce sung it, and she's like incredible kind of like jazz singer, so that was like such a privilege for me to work with incredible musicians, and like I kind of felt like I was coming into it somebody who, I don't have like a music background, but I was like, okay, here are some lyrics and the melody, and we'd work together and develop it, so it was collaboration.
Because directing isn't enough for you, apparently. Is that it, or?
Well, it was limitations that I had to do. Well, it wasn't really out of choice; it was out of necessity.
Lucy, thank you very much for talking.
Thank you so much.